process initially started with me going online. There's a very famous YouTuber by the name of Cyborg for Life. He was a big contributor towards information on limb lengthening, obviously Googled as well. I first heard of this surgery about maybe a year and a half ago. I started spending, when I had free time, I started spending more time looking into it, and it was the internet and YouTube essentially which helped me understand more about this surgery, different types of methods, nails, etc. And when I had enough information, it was then I made my decision to do the surgery for myself. At that time, I chose Precice. I chose Precice mainly for comfort, and also I know myself as a person, my character, and also my pain thresholds. I found when I done research that there was a big difference in regards to experience from LON method in comparison to Precice 2.2 in relation to the femur. So for me, the decision was to go for the easier option. Although it being more expensive, I was fortunate enough to afford this method, so I chose this method for myself. So, like everyone, the initial goal is to hit max. But I think the good thing is with AFA, they kind of like give you more realistic goals as well, and they help you understand that it's not just about reaching the max of, essentially 8 centimeters for myself. It's more about the whole process, listening to your PT, understanding your body, and working together to reach your goals. So, although I had my heart set on 8 centimeters, I had 2 goals initially. The first goal was obviously 8 centimeters, then that changed. I then dropped down to 7 centimeters for my first goal, and then if I was okay and the PT and everybody else was happy, including myself, then I was going to go for 7.5 centimeters, and I actually achieved 7.5 centimeters. And if I'm being honest, I could have actually gone for 8 centimeters if I wanted to, but I chose not to because of my proportions. I mean, there are some clear advantages: being able to wash, being able to sleep on your side, less scarring. So these, for me, were the main advantages. In comparison to the LON method, the disadvantages are pretty clear, to be fair. You're going to have bigger scars, a lot more discomfort. I just feel from being through the whole process and meeting people who have done LON method, I think I made the right choice, because the disadvantages, for example, like I mentioned, pain, not being able to wash, not being able to do hydrotherapy, these would be disadvantages. But again, with LON method, you have also some advantages. You have the price, which is significantly cheaper. You have the internal nail, which is weight bearing, with the external fixators, of course, but the actual nail inside is weight bearing. So this is a huge advantage in comparison to Precice. So I guess each individual has to, look at the pros and cons on both sides and make a decision, because at the end of the day, it is a personal decision, and everyone has to make this decision for themselves. So initially I was advised that I could possibly have the large nail, 12.5. Doctor then decided to go down to 10.7 because he felt that this would be a more better option for me, so he wouldn't have to cut out too much of my internal bone. Initially I wanted to get the bigger nail, which meant I would have a bit more weight bearing, but ultimately I think doctor made the best decision for me. Happy with the 10.7 nail. So I done my physical training and I put in a lot of effort, and I did walk in with the physical trainers, supported with the rails, etc. I was fortunate enough in my last month to move on to the walker. Again, everybody works at a different pace. It's different for everybody, so it's dependable on your body, how much work you put in on physical therapy, how your body reacts essentially to the whole process. But for myself, I was fortunate enough to do walking with the walker, and this obviously helped me with my walking gauge, helped me with my callus, with my overall recovery. That being said, 90%, 95% I was in a wheelchair. Yeah, I was very impressed with the physical therapy. They are very well experienced. Even the new guy who joined the company was very quick to learn, and I have nothing bad to say about the physical therapy. In fact, I increased my physical therapy sessions to weekends because I felt that the physical therapy was very important to my recovery, and also the quality of the physical therapy was good. So I decided to increase my physical therapy and get extra physical therapy sessions for the weekend. So sessions normally last for 2 hours, 5 days a week, and then obviously they offer the same service on the weekends at an extra cost. Hydrotherapy sessions were offered twice a week. I felt these were extremely helpful for myself, for my own personal experience. In fact, I later on was advised by one of the managers at AFA to increase my hydrotherapy to 5 days a week. So there was 2 sessions offered with the PT, physical training, and then I would go on my own. At this point, I was capable, to be fair. It's not something I would advise people to do straight away. Obviously, you have to build your confidence and make sure that you're physically able to do it without a physical therapist there with you. So hopefully build up to 5 times a week. And for me, I think on the last month, that's when I started going 5 days a week, and the process and the recovery was far more better for me. First month I think is the worst for everyone, whether it's LON or Precice. After the first month, you then go into more of a lengthening pain phase. This is more up and down for myself. The lengthening after the first month, I was probably on, say, 2.5 centimeters, let's say. And then from 2.5 to about 5 centimeters, I was experiencing lengthening pains. Now, these lengthening pains are manageable from a Precice point of view. I wasn't taking many painkillers, to be fair, although it got to the point where I did find it quite hard, and I decided to slow down my lengthening. So when I got to 5 centimeters, I dropped down to 3 lengthenings a day. So normally you do 4 lengthens, which would give you 1 millimeter a day. I got to 5 centimeters, then I dropped down to 3 lengthens a day. That helped me a lot, and I got to 7 centimeters very easily after that. So for me, I would say the first month, probably the hardest. Second month, it goes up and down, and the last month for me was probably the easiest. Complications wise, for myself, there was no major complications at all. I was quite fortunate. I didn't experience any complications for myself. Everything was pretty smooth for myself. Like I said, apart from the normal pain experience and lengthening experience, my bone callus was growing fine. My PT sessions were going good. I was fortunate enough not to get any nerve pain. Maybe this is due to Precice, I don't know. My IT band was released in surgery by the doctor. I didn't have any IT band issues, which again I guess I was very fortunate maybe. So overall, for me, there was no complications, and I think I was maybe, maybe one of the lucky ones. I don't know, but I was able to get through without any complications and quite a smooth experience. Hospital, after surgery, you're hospitalized for 10 days. The experience was what you would expect. You just essentially, you can't leave the room. You have a caretaker beside you. You're going to be in immense pain on very strong painkillers, and you're going to find it difficult even to get to the toilet. So be prepared for the worst time, because that is the worst time of the experience, I would say, from a personal perspective. So just be prepared for that, but just know that after you get past the hospitalization period, you then go to the hotel, and then things get easier. And once you get past that first month, everything gets a lot easier after that for both LON and Precice patients. Me personally, yes, I made breakfast, very basic, scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, some yogurt, some toast, maybe with some butter, pretty basic stuff. For me, obviously, I was on a high protein diet, as everyone's advised to be taking protein. So I was basically eating 4 eggs for breakfast and having a yogurt, and then my calcium D water, pretty basic stuff, some sucuk, which is Turkish sausage. You can fry some of that, put some spinach in there, omelets, whatever. So very basic cooking for me, just for breakfast. And for lunch and for dinner, I would order from the many restaurants So there's many options on the apps that you can order from. And I would also have a protein shake in between. So every day I'd have a protein shake, breakfast obviously, and then I'd have lunch and dinner. I'd order from outside. Again, other patients I've heard they used to cook lunch, dinner, breakfast, everything. But for me personally, I was in a wheelchair as well. So I think this does have an impact as well on what you're capable to cook as well, you know. So something to consider as well, depending on which operation you choose to do. Yeah, another thing, one of the great things I admired about AFA was they provide you with a lot of the vitamins and supplements. You know, other companies, which I won't mention, they didn't actually offer that, which I found quite surprising. AFA really, you know, they're very stocked up and they really take that quite serious, and I was really happy to see that. Probably another reason why I was quite attracted to AFA and choosing them was their offering supplements to all their patients, because, you know, they really care about making sure that they're getting the right nutrition. When it was time for me to order my protein shakes, my protein shake, you know, they have somebody in-house takes care of all of that for you. That's another thing to consider, you know, how you're going to obtain these items. AFA provided you with another service there, which I'm not sure if other companies offer you this, but for me, this was very valuable, and it allowed me to take my protein supplements. I got some vitamin C supplements myself, and all the other supplements, which was 5 other supplements, were provided by AFA, and there's always there, you know, whenever you run out, you just ask them and they just provide to you. So that was great. I mean, I met with Dr. Mustafa. First time was with the video call. After the video call, I wanted to do a face-to-face consultation. I had some questions prepared, and I was very direct with my questioning. I'd met previously 2 other doctors before that, and just from a personal point of view, I clicked better with the doctor, and I found that his answers to my questions were far more superior. Therefore, he made me comfortable. So I was happy to choose the doctor for the surgery. In fairness, 3 months later, with no complications, and, you know, looking at my x-rays, I believe I made the right choice for me. If you look at the AFA team from the top all the way down to the bottom, I think they have a very well-balanced team. You have the PT guys, you have the managers, and you have the guys who look after you on a personal level, who get things for you, like explained earlier, for example, the protein shakes, etc. Anything you require, essentially, he's there to help you. So I think overall, they have a very well-balanced, fantastic team working for them, and honestly, I don't have a bad word to say. I think my experience would have been not as good if they didn't have this team who works for them. So I think they have a great team working for them, and I hope they can keep the same team so they can continue to grow and do offer the same service to any potential future customers. Anyone who does any research on this will know that anybody that's done this surgery, nobody has ever regretted it. This is what I heard before I even decided to do the surgery, and although I'm not at that level yet where I've fully recovered, even at this point at 7.5 centimeters, you know, I feel something inside that's made me feel like it was worth doing it, and I did make the right decision. And yes, I mean, happiness is something to consider, because everybody obviously wants to be more happier, and everyone has different reasons for doing limb lengthening. So for me, I achieved what I wanted. I was very happy with the length and the feeling that I've experienced so far. And I think when I fully recover, I think I'll probably be even more happier than I am now. Anything else? Suggestions? I mean, anything else? The only thing I can add or like to say is I just hope everyone does their due diligence, does some real research on the topics that we've already discussed. Surgeon, the company structure, meaning the team they have in place, also complications, you know, that they've experienced, etc. The location, the services, etc. So I would advise anybody to take their time with this. Don't rush it. I would say don't go and see 1 or 2 different companies. Don't just see one. Like myself, I went to see 3 different companies before I chose AFA. So I would advise most people the same thing, to make sure they're making an informed decision from my experience. And again, you know, choose the right surgery for you. You know, that's really important, because that can really change your whole experience on the surgery itself. But ultimately, to anybody that's thinking about doing limb lengthening surgery and they do want to be taller, and it's something that's, you know, really seriously playing on their mind, or something that they feel that's going to make them more happier, I think they should go ahead and do it, because I honestly believe that it will make them happier. And there's complications wise, if you do go with the right surgeon, honestly, it should be a very smooth process.